Hello, readers of Every Word, and welcome to Every Word 365. I'm your host, Christina Madsen. Today we're reading Exodus 11 through 12. Did you enjoy your break and or get caught up on your readings? Okay, I know that several of you are struggling with how harsh God has been at times. This is an example of what I was warning you about in our tough talk from earlier. Particularly how God hardened Pharaoh's heart while telling Moses to ask for their release. While I could once again quote Isaiah 55:8, I also want to share some more thoughts from Got Questions in hopes of answering some of your questions. And so I've actually got 3 different links there that can kind of help us understand maybe what's going on. And remember, you may never understand all of it or any of it, and we don't really need to have faith, and that's kind of the point of faith and trust. All that being said, let's be honest, because we may never understand all of it. We may never know why something happens or why God did or does something, but what do we know? We do know how much God loves us. And if you don't, please read this link that I'm including called Why Does God Love Us? We must remember these promises while we read His Word, and that, of course, is from Got Questions. On to today's reading. Today we had the final and most disturbing plague of all, death for all firstborn Egyptians. I want to be clear that we as believers certainly don't need non-biblical confirmation that these things actually happened, but the journalist in me finds it so interesting when that does exist. I want to share a link for more on evidence of the 10 plagues. I find this so incredibly fascinating. And then the Passover, I'll be honest, I used to have no idea that the Passover was really about passing over houses of the Israelites. I love it. And you may have known or figured out the symbolism and representation of Jesus Christ, which I think is so cool. And I've also attached a side-by-side comparison of Jesus and the lamb that was given to me by my Bible study leader. Again, I never knew why we called Jesus the lamb. So it talks about the lamb, and then it talks about Jesus and how they are symbolic and how Jesus is our lamb and why. I find that stuff so incredibly fascinating. Also, if you looked closely at the photo I sent of my Bible for today, the page, you may have noticed 2 questions at the bottom. While we continue to get a mountaintop view of the Bible, I encourage all of you to continually ask yourself these 2 questions every day in your reading. Number 1, who are you, Lord? Number 2, what would you have me do? It will make this experience much more personal, as opposed to trying to figure out what everything means or why everything happened. And I would be remiss if I didn't share the quote on today's page. Oftentimes, many Christians get a good person complex. Hey, I haven't murdered anyone or anything awful like that, so I must be doing pretty good, right? Well, let's remember that even gossip is considered a sin. I remember not knowing that and being very uncomfortable with that, which means I was probably doing a lot of gossip. It says, if everyone turned gossip into prayer, there would be no more reason for gossip. Love that, and don't you think it is just so true? I'm including a link to the Facebook page. As always, be sure to join us if you want to be a part of our discussions and comment on all of these readings. Tomorrow's reading is Exodus 13 through 15. Happy reading!